CIF does not care that this allows for boys with intact exposing male genitalia to strip naked next to girls. Hello everyone, I am Sophia Lorey. I was a 4-year varsity CIF player, 3 of those years being a team captain. Being an athlete, it instilled persistence, cultivated discipline, and eventually helped pay for my college education as I had the opportunity to play my sport at the college level. Playing high school sports is an invaluable experience that is now diminishing for girls in the state of California due to CIF's policies to allow boys on girls' sports teams. Today, CIF is hosting their federated council meeting in the building behind us, yet there is not one item on their agenda to protect women's sports. And it breaks my heart that I have to stand here and say, boys do not belong in girls' sports. This is common sense. Yet CIF has done nothing to protect high school female athletes. In fact, they've done quite the opposite. In February of 2013, CIF added its gender identity participation rules, which states, all students should have the opportunity to participate in CIF activities in a manner that is consistent with their gender identity, irrespective of the gender listed on a student's records. To help with this new rule, they created a gender-diverse youth sport inclusivity toolkit. As I first read through this toolkit, my heart broke as I quickly learned that CIF is putting the feelings of boys over the safety of girls. When I look back to my 4 years as a CIF athlete, I treasure every single moment. From finding out I made the varsity team as a freshman to becoming a captain my sophomore year, all the fun game days, wearing our jerseys to school, the lessons I learned daily at practice that applied to every aspect of my life. The team dinners with my teammates the night before a game, team sleepovers to welcome all the newbies to varsity, holding up the trophy each year we won our rival game, all the away game bus rides getting hyped up to play, but most importantly, the ability to train with my teammates to achieve my goal of becoming the best college soccer player I could be. One bad experience has the ability to ruin a sport for a young girl. One experience changing with a boy in the locker room, taking my starting spot away or injuring me is all it would have taken for me to never step on the field again as a young girl. CIF is leaving the door open for this to happen every single day. In this toolkit, CIF discusses the use of locker rooms for athletes, stating that a student uses the facility that most closely aligns with their gender identity. CIF does not care that this allows for boys with intact exposing male genitalia to strip naked next to girls. In America, 1 out of every 6 women have been the victim of sexual assault, yet CIF allows for boys to change next to girls, as if this does not create a dangerous or traumatic environment. Not only does CIF put the feelings of boys before the safety of girls, they believe it's the job of the female athletes to actually help onboard and make the males comfortable. The toolkit asks, how do we successfully onboard trans and non-binary athletes? And then answers the question by stating, enlist the assistance of your team captain to welcome the teammate and to help them acclimate. As I mentioned, I became captain of the varsity team in 2015, my sophomore year as a 15-year-old, a team that had many 18-year-olds on it. This illogical rule by CIF began in 2013, which means if there was an 18-year-old man who decided he wanted to play on my high school girls team, it would have been my job as a 15-year-old to make sure he felt comfortable on the team. Instead of standing up for truth and protecting my teammates, instead of making sure my teammates were not harmed by a man in the locker room, instead of making sure my teammates had the equal opportunity to work for their starting spot or to continue playing the sport they love, CIF would have wanted me, a 15-year-old girl, to acclimate a man onto our team. CIF also makes it clear that their policy encourages a culture in which student athletes can compete in a safe and supportive environment. There is not one part of this policy that is safe or supportive for girls. As long as CIF continues to allow boys to play on girls' sports teams, girls are not safe or supported. The policy also states it will likely need to be reviewed and revised to reflect increased medical understanding. Well, CIF, it's time to revise your policy. We know that males have a narrower pelvis and less angled femur than females, allowing them to run and pedal faster than females. That females' lung and hearts are smaller than males, allowing a male to take in and use oxygen at an aerobic capacity up to 25% greater than a female, creating a large advantage when it comes to stamina. as well as the fibers in male's muscles are thicker and more densely packed, which increases his physical power over a female. And guess what? None of those advantages can be eliminated by cross-sex hormones. Every day, we learn of more and more female athletes that are being injured by males, such as Peyton McNabb, a high school volleyball player who received a concussion after being spiked in the face by a male. It has been over a year, and she continues to have long-term physical and mental effects, including impaired vision, partial paralysis on the right side of her face, and anxiety and depression. She is not alone. We have watched this continue to happen at the high school level. We are watching girls losing to boys, girls getting cut from their teams because of boys, and girls changing in the janitor's closet because there is a male in the girls' locker rooms. To claim this is not happening and growing by the day is to be ignorant to reality. To the CIF Council members inside, I want to trust you understand basic biology, that you know it is wrong to allow boys on girls' sports teams, and that maybe you're just too scared to stand up to this policy. Hear me out. Stand up to it. You were put in this position for such a time as this, and do not let fear stop you from protecting every CIF female athlete. As we know, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Stop doing nothing, fix your policy.